Alive, Mr. Sinclair.
You guys are
Waking
breathing.
up there? Well, everybody might have noticed, I didn't put out a notice today because sorry not a lot of stuff going on. We're able to get to a bunch of it, but we're going to talk about something of great interest to me. And that is on our Western Shepherd project. Everyone who creates a breed, you go back to Stephanus, the shepherd, the little Martinez brothers with the Argentine doggos, trying to think of who all. Louis Doberman. Yeah, well, I don't know how much, Doberman didn't need any records. I don't know how many. But everyone who, Mr. Johnson Bulldog, American Bulldogs, everyone gets to this point where they've got to expand their gene pool, and that's tricky. You got to expand it without losing any of the quality. I'm kind of proud to say, we accept what we do. So the original purpose was to recreate a healthy German Shepherd that was as capable as the original dogs bred by German Shepherd, right? The biggest thing was getting those hips right, and I think we can say pretty faithfully we've done that. We x-ray all our breeding stock. We use Dr. Sakaitis, we have 40 years experience, and actually recommend. I've never seen a veterinarian with a congressional recommendation, but he's got one. Pretty knowledgeable fellow for this country. And every time he x-rays one of our dogs, he is impressed. So we got that, but now what we need to do is expand. What happens, I saw it firsthand with the doggo. Your gene pool doesn't spread enough, and whatever breeds you use to create your breed, one or two start to become a little more dominant. You breed back to the same dog, back to the same female. And doggos in this country started going back primarily to what they call the Cordova dog, which was essentially just a kid. But we had some pretty savvy breeders, and they saw the problem that was occurring. So we're not going to make that mistake. And with all the help we've got, testing Scott's man to test all our protection dogs, not only test them when they're starting, but more importantly, working when they're grown, right? Working like street dogs, which is hard to find. It's almost impossible to find anyone who does that sort of education work in this part of the world. So now, here's what we're looking for. We got great hips. We have 2.0. Along the way, when I was mixing and matching with breeds, we bred out the undercoat. Some have a little more undercoat than others, but all of them have way less than the German Shepherd. So we're going to try to do two things. First, we're going to stabilize the size, overall size of our dogs. So we did get a few small overcoat. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to try and take out the little undercoat there is. We're going to take it out completely. And I'm talking the goal of rated officially, certifiably, however you want to say it, hypoallergenic. And we're going to try to get a shepherd in the next 4 to 6 years. We won't have little dog. It sheds as much as we.
I'm getting the first one. FYI, everybody.
Carolina was the first one.
I get the first one.
Yeah. So, and then as we move towards that, I'd also like to get, we've already, I think we've already created, for lack of a better term, in my humble nature, I would classify, we've already created a super dog. For all the, I mean, we've dealt with some big old dogies, especially, Black Russian Terriers, consistently across the board. Well, I'm putting on the spot here. Am I wrong in saying that the Western Shepherds are consistently some of the best man fighters you've been dealt with, or?
Yeah. Across the board.
Everyone's got those things.
Close, they're right up there with gobies and wobbies. Just different dogs.
I think, like you said, it's all in the genetics and the way you bred them. Having two of them, being able to alert them when you need them to be alert as pups, and them instinctively already getting the sack, the flirt pole to the sleeve. It took all one session with McCoy, like done,
Yeah.
done.
Most all of our shepherds, you can bring them out here, they're 10 months old. How many times have we started on a fork pole, an hour later finished with, their sleep stuff? Only more than a few.
7 or 8. 5 for sure. But, like we said, it's there, right?
Right.
Just gotta bring it out. So, the owners, the hands of these dogs, listen, when you puppy classes, they what you're told to do.
Right.
Do that, the cubs and the playing game. So the dogs, it wasn't long they were out.
Right.
And we was expecting it then. The game turned to, the game was a game. But all of a sudden, once they got it figured out, they knew. Well, they knew automatically. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Right. Yeah.
And there was no thinking about it. It was just
It's automatic.
automatic. Because the full pole, when you tell it, when puppy seed, like the, not a bar seed before that, intermediate seed.
Intermediate swat.
So, and that's, even a wedge, wedge seed, working the wedge with them and deep bites. Yeah, they weren't,
How about that?
so,
Okay.
but over consistently, they're all PT model.
Right.
To bring it out, I think we get to bring so much out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the first run,
That's the beauty of it.
on the first run.
Pause for 1 second. I got to do something with the sound.
Oops.
Shows it's working, but not really.
All right, is that better? Anyway, yeah, no, they come out and they're very intelligent dogs. So I got Dobermans, and I got Western Shepherds too. I got them both,
Yeah.
and they coexist quite well.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see, like the Frenchie,
It's got a Frenchie,
It's
too.
not. It's not very smart. Sorry, they're cute, but they're not. They're not the smartest dogs. You can see it in their eyes. I mean, the Western Shepherd and the Doberman. Your Frenchie's dumber than a box of rocks compared to the Dobermans and that Western Shepherd. You tell her. Anyway, listen. So you can see the
intelligence.
intelligence. It's there. It's consistent. She's bright. The dog is bright. It's a bright dog.
Yep.
And you can come out here, and if you want to come out, you can just look in their eyes. You can tell a lot about a dog by looking at its eyes and how it looks at you and how it reacts and its body language. And most of these shepherds is very good.
I can say that too, Butch, because having our Dobermans
Yeah.
and having the Western Shepherd, they are just so, look at you dead in your eyes, down to your soul.
Yeah, a lot of
And I
people.
get that compliment consistently when I'm taking out Traveler, my Western Shepherd. They're like, wow, she's just like focused. She's staring straight at you
Yeah.
and paying attention so closely to what you're doing.
And some people can't handle that. They don't like that.
I know. Oh, yeah.
The dog's looking at you, and the dog's just looking at you. It don't mean nothing by it. It's actually looking to So what do you want them to do? It's just very intense. That's Dobermans and the Western Shepherds have that trait too about them. Those dogs are bold. They won't look away. They'll look at you and they'll say, well, fuck, you know.
And let me tell you, Scott's makes statements sometimes that shock me. Let me tell you how accurate what he just said really is. He said some people don't like that when dogs stare at them. Some of the people that don't like that are people that you see their names on all the marquees as the great dog trainers. It goes so deep that when the AKC was formed, there are breeds that when they write their standard, and you might be able to tell something about the people that started the breed, or at least the early participants in the breed, if you hear this. One of the things that is eye color is mentioned in all the AKC breeds. And there are faults that you can have. The biggest fault is what they term bird of prey eyes.
And all the dogs have that.
These are light colored eye because these light colored eyes make humans feel uncomfortable when the dog's staring at them. They can't take it. Oh my God, he's gonna. So that little statement he made is more than true. And you know, I don't deal with color. I do know this: lighter colored eyes in your exist in your sight hounds. Lighter colored eyes exist in all birds of prey. And so we have, most of our Westerns have a caramel colored eye, I guess you'd say. And if we get them lighter than that, I don't care. Because apparently that lighter color area helps.
Yeah, my dogs always were born and up to 3 months had blue eyes.
Yeah.
My dog,
Yeah, glass-eyed.
and all of a sudden they
Start changing.
they get the caramel a little darker. Birds of prey eyes. And
Mhm.
you called me one time. You told me that
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Matter of fact.
So what we're doing in this second part of the project, and I'm talking about if you know anyone who's interested in participating in some way, form, or fashion, you know, give me a call. 'Cause we're looking for people that would like to take. We're going to take some puppies out of each litter and keep them and raise them to adulthood. That way, I can test exactly what kind of dogs we're raising. We're going to need some people that may just be interested in helping training. You know, anything. If you're interested in if you want to see this project through, like I said, hopefully we'll recreate the first hypoallergenic shepherd. And we also want to work more with the intelligence level. I don't think we can raise it any. I think we maybe can shape some things
Yeah,
about it.
they're already. Like the hips. You got that. That's already.
There.
It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I tell people, I'm not saying these dogs are real smart, but like if you got a pup and you don't have time to train it, you just go on the internet, get you a good dog training book. I got some I can recommend, obedience training. Just give that to your pup. Come back in 2 weeks after he's read it. He'll be able to do everything for you.
Yep.
You know, so that's not that they're super smart, but they're pretty damn smart.
So what do you think the dog's color? The black dogs, I'm just saying this because I've seen it, the black shepherds opposed to the sables. There's a difference there. Not much, but the black ones to me seem to be they're more in tune.
More focused.
They're more focused. I don't know if that could be the breeding, but is there a way, that's not where I was going with that, but like the color of the dog. Is there a way to control that or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Not completely, because any breeding's a crapshoot, but you can work towards it more and more. And
like you want Barks. Dogs like Bart.
yep.
People love that dog.
Oh yeah.
I love the sables too. I got one, but there's something about the black. Like all the. It's weird how you get variables, right? The
Right.
Dobermans get different colors.
Yeah.
I mean, the dogs are all built the same, like shepherds. But you got the markings always stay the same, but it's always, you get your few, what do you call them? Melanistic? And they're all black.
Melanin.
They're all black,
Yeah.
or they're all white. And those,
Mhm.
like you said, whatever.
Right.
Those are the ones you got to look out for. But I was just wondering.
All right. So what I have discovered through this project is that the thing about color. I always totally disregarded color. So if we're dealing with horses, I learned as a kid, the people who bred for color, just as a priority, they wanted a black and white paint, or they wanted an Appaloosa, and color was their main priority. They usually end up with horses that are not as intelligent or physically
Right.
able, right? So we don't want to breed for color.
No, but is there a way you can control that?
Yes, you can control it, and here's the other thing. This is what makes breeding such a guessing game. You know, people look at Bart and go, "Wow, you created that? Boy, you're really smart." And I go, "No, I'm really lucky." And I don't mean that I'm not trying to sound humble, because I ain't saying I am. But the bottom line is this: you can take all the knowledge in the world about genetics and pick what this breeding and this breeding will get you, and when the pups or whatever hit the ground, won't one of them match up? Because at the end of the day, it's always a crapshoot. What you can do is realize that there's certain genes that work with other genes. Certain breeds are going to be more prone to deafness, and every one of those breeds, Argentine Doggos, Dalmatians, are predominantly white. We know the term is piggyback. We know that this tendency for deafness piggybacks on the color gene for white, period. There are certain breeds, if you have a boxer, if you have a doggo, they're going to live between 8 and 10 years, if you're lucky, and they're going to die of cancer.
Yep.
Period. We know that the genetics of those breeds are carrying a predisposition to that disease. So what I've already discovered about the colors in our westerns is that, now Scott's pointed out something that he's told me before, and this is where he's seen this, and he picked up on this before I did, because he's on the tooth end of the dogs. The darker dogs, the more Bart-like dogs, tend to be what you call more intense, more focused.
More focused. Their not courage test, but their confidence is higher.
Higher.
Out of the box.
Okay.
It seems they're more confident dogs.
And the one thing I've learned that started me on this path in our restart, our 2.0 project, is the darker the dogs, the less undercoat they have.
Yep. McCoy's like that. McCoy had the Razorback, like Bart, but he had no hair.
He had no hair.
I mean, he had a hair, but it's a more wiry hair, bristly.
Yeah.
A little bit thicker hair,
Yep.
but there's one coat, and he don't shed. Them damn Dobermans will shed more than that Shepherd will.
You heard it here first, folks.
And Doberman short hair, they shed a lot, like sawdust. You can pick up at the house, like I guarantee you, if I go every day, as I did, I go around and sweep, you know.
Sure.
And I didn't see nothing. All of a sudden, I had a pile of every day. I only had one Doberman. I didn't have two, like this big. The little black hairs about that big. You can't see them. And there was no shepherd hairs in there, ever. And he laid on the bed. He never shedded on nothing. I'm telling you, never.
Right.
Even traveled the same way.
She doesn't share. She's the darkest sable we have. Her sister, who kind of resembles her, but she's got all the blonde legs. She
Right.
has big tufts coming out. So I waited I brushed travel around, she had some hair. I was done.
The difference, there's something in the genes. The black-haired dogs, down the center of their back, they have a wavy. I call it a razorback. A wavy or a mohawk down the center of their back to their tail, are that wide, and it sits up about what 3/8 of an inch, and it's a tough. They all have that. The sables don't have that.
Nope. And Bart, that's
Bart, yeah.
exactly where it comes from.
Yep.
So, and our sables, I've had people who've never owned a German Shepherd who got a Western Shepherd, and they got one of our sable fawn colored, lighter colored Western Shepherds, and this one lady called me and said, you know, well, yeah, I love her, she's so smart, but she sheds. Oh my God, that's not true. So, and I'm thinking, you know, so this particular lady, she would come out every now and then for training, and she came out in the spring, and she made a comment about the shepherd, the shedding again, and you know, and I kind of brushed at her dog, and it was like a Western Shepherd, and I said, "Have you ever owned a German Shepherd?" She said, "No." I had a German Shepherd female at that time
I remember.
out in the yard, remember? And I said, "There's a German Shepherd over there. You see them clumps of hair hanging off?" She said, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
No, she doesn't shed like that. So, you know, we're going to breed. The darker the dog, it appears, carries a better chance of a slicker coat. So that, what you're saying is, we're going to try and work
Mm-hmm.
and control and get in more darker colors.
And it seems that their girth is that they have a little more girth in the front end too.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
A little wider.
Yep.
A little bit, not much. I mean, the dogs are genetically sound all the way around, sable or black, but there's nuances that that we're picking hairs, right? But not really.
Well,
but it's something we can do.
We got to put all all the hairs together.
Yeah.
Or we look bald. We don't
Make a
look
braid and tie it up in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
You know, and you're. I've always had a thing about, because I'm a quarter horse guy. I was actually looking at a deal. If you're new and you've never been around me much, you can't be around me very long without me saying the word secretariat at some point. So they'd done a study on man of war and native dancer and all these. They were showing conformational differences. And one thing Ron Turcott, Secretariat's jockey, had said was that the Preakness, I think, in the Derby, he got tripped up and was running dead last. And Turcott came around the outside, right in the first turn. Well, that's your best chance of peeling out. But he said it was that extra width that he had through his front end that allowed him to come around those curves that other horses couldn't.
We paused. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they've been buffering on us.
So weird.
And for what we use the dogs for, that's not a big deal, but and make man stoppers.
Hell yeah. Especially you figure, like that guy goes to dodge you all of a sudden, and that dog needs to turn.
Oh yeah, and power.
Yeah. That's
Hey
something.
guys, it's not letting me pull it back up.
Started over. God
Hold on.
damn.
625. We're close anyway.
Yeah, we
Hold
are.
on.
I don't know what it is, and you can't call anybody at YouTube and say why. You know.
No. No.
Yeah, I gotta start it over, guys. And hold on.
Start it over, and I'll splice it all together and re-upload it as one time.